I just got done watching the final episode of season 5, and now we're going to talk about it. More specifically, I'm just going to sum up my thoughts on season 5 overall real quick, just because I want to get to bed. I have class tomorrow, and I stayed up to watch the encore because internet will be talking about. Um, it was very good at closing doors, but also leaving open to more in the sense that we brought closure to the arcs and the conflicts presented in the first season 5 while ultimately doing it. And this second half, it was a little slow to start out, but at the end of the day, this might just be my favorite arc on the show. For a couple of reasons. Number one, the length, the fact that we had an arc confined to half of a season. Which, I mean, honestly, I think Walking Dead's going to do this thing where, like, the stories, when in one half of the season, the next half of the other season are going to have more to do with each other than vice versa. But I'm okay with that just simply because we're getting, like, smaller stories. Like, we're not doing what we did in seasons 2 and 3 where we just stretch stories out. And unlike the first half where we were just so over the map at times, here all the stories were relevant and they tied together. And that made it feel so much more cohesive as opposed to the first half where not a lot of stuff tied together. And the conflict was way more interesting. I really like this idea of the community. I really like this idea of, like, what if the zombie apocalypse came to an end? How would the group deal with that? How would they come to terms with that? And to which Sasha gave us the really awesome line where the two women are arguing about what to cook for dinner, and she's like, "This is what you worry about," and I thought that perfectly summed it up. And just all the conflicts like that, and the conflict between the old life and the new life, these people who are still stuck in the mind life of pre-zombie apocalypse and before, it's like, it's, kind of goes back to this concept of you have to adapt to survive. Kind of like what the Croods tried to do with its message, except this was just way better. It's kind of funny. It's like we're going back to a more barbaric state. And yeah, like, all the conflicts in this arc were really good. I mean, there were arguments, but they had weight to them. They had value. There was no clear-cut right or wrong answer. Like, each person in the argument had a legit point. And at one point when Rick just goes full on, see, like, you get where he's coming from. It's not like Shane where he's just an asshole and it's like, why do we deal with that? It's like, no, we get Rick. And not only that, but just everyone had something to do this season, but it all felt relevant, all felt connected. Daryl had a good plot line. Carl had a good plot line. Everyone was just on the ball. Like, this new showrunner, I mean, outside of a not-so-great first half, he's done a really good job. Way better than the guy who ran the previous season. And I'm trying to think what else. There was Zombie Spectacle, but the show, I think, at times it was a little forced, but then there were other times where they were much better about throwing it much better about working it into the story and have it, like, serve a purpose, develop characters and stuff. The only hiccup I'm finding in this half, outside of it taking a while to get going, like, we had two really slow episodes, one of Tyrese dying and the other of what's her fate. One was Tyrese dying, the other was just them walking. Is the villains, the W villains, who we find out are these Indian villains who they're probably going to have to deal with at some point next season. The thing about that is, yeah, they aren't that interesting. I mean, they're just another evil group like the cannibals that wander. They don't seem that unique. I mean, hopefully they'll develop some sort of identity, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I have read the comics. I haven't read all of them, but I have read a bit far ahead, so I kind of have an idea of what's going to come, although they can change things around, so I don't know. But if they do follow the comics, Season 6 is going to be intense. At least, depending on if they just choose to have the community be the first half or have it be most, if not all, of Season 6. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah. So, Season 5 overall, it was the best and worst of Walking Dead. We had a very lame, very forgettable, very not that interesting first half, and then a really solid, original, unique, and engaging second half. And, like, Walking Dead, usually it's the other way around. Usually first half's really good and second half's really lame. And I'm happy that we went out on a good note. I mean, consistently overall, this wasn't like the tightest season ever. Like season 4, I thought was the strongest season overall. But as far as just set of episodes go, this might have been the best set, and I cannot wait for season 6. Hopefully they'll keep the ball rolling and they don't drop it. Like, hopefully we can just have a solid season 6 overall. Like, this is like one of the few times in a while on Walking Dead where I actually feel like the creators know what they're doing and they're making something great. And yeah, so I enjoyed the second half way better than the first half. And again, I just hope that when I come back, I want to remember why I love Walking Dead. I want to continue. The show just got me back just after the first half of season 5 just made me lose interest and not care. Suddenly I'm back to caring, so kudos to Walking Dead for swinging back. And yeah, just keep it coming with season 6. And I will probably vlog about the Fear of Walking Dead. I mean, it could be interesting, but at the same time, it's just filler. I mean, this isn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where I'm not invested in a show, and here comes the show, I'm going to be more invested. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, so leave your thoughts on the Season 5 finale of Walking Dead in the comments below, and along with your thoughts on Season 5, and like, dislike, subscribe, and this is JStar60, and I'll see you guys later. Until next time, take care.